The 49ers' George Kittle and Swift's wife Claire have offered Travis Kelce and Swift 2 pieces of advice for making it through the NFL season. The romance between Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift could be the most famous couple in the United States. Indeed, it is in the realm of athletics. It takes a lot of effort to maintain a relationship, regardless of how much attention a couple receives. In addition, George Kittle, a standout for the San Francisco 49ers, and Claire, his wife, have 2 golden rules for relationships that they felt Swift and Kelce should be aware of before they begin their second NFL season together. Get your point across as much as you can. Get the word out. The news was broken by George to the press. In agreement with her husband, Claire said, "The biggest thing is communication," and she was right. Claire and George crossed paths while playing sports at Iowa. Caitlin Clark was a middle school student, while Claire was a member of the Hawkeyes women's basketball team. The Kittles tied the knot in 2019, having been together for a lot longer than Kelce and Swift's 1-year courtship. Attending a Kansas City Chiefs game versus the Chicago Bears in September marked the beginning of Swift and Kelce's public relationship. At Arrowhead Stadium, Swift was seen bouncing about and celebrating in a premium suite after Kelce scored a touchdown that day. There has been intense scrutiny on the pair ever then. Telling each other, "I love you," before bed is something that George Kittle and Claire have been doing for quite some time, and it's something that Claire felt was a wonderful concept. Regardless of whether you and your partner have had a fight or are just dissatisfied with one another, I believe it's essential to simply tell the individual so. It's simply a pleasant way to conclude the day, Kittle went on to say. "I would say that, and as Claire mentioned," she said, "well done." With Swift in attendance, the Chiefs went 10-3 last season, and she was in attendance for all 4 playoff games in separate locales. In return, Kelce has shown up to many Eras Tour concerts in places like Singapore, Amsterdam, Argentina, and Australia. As a backup dancer, Kelce has even performed on stage alongside Swift at one of her recent London Stadium concerts. As per a further report, there is a flaw in Taylor Swift's record-breaking tour: product concerns. Taylor Swift's ideal world seems to be devoid of any flaws. She has become a billionaire. Travis Kelce, a great tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs, is her charming boyfriend. The release of her most recent album, Tortured Poets Department, shattered records for the most streams ever recorded. The Eras concert tour by Swift was a smashing success. In the United States, it added more than $4 billion to the GDP. She is expected to contribute more than $1 billion to Britain's GDP as a consequence of her 8 sold-out concerts at Wembley Stadium in the UK. Her European performances may even cause inflation in some regions, according to some. One other thing that makes the Swift world so special is the merchandise that Taylor Swift has released. The merchandise for the Eras made $200 million in sales last year. Although Swift's defenses are mostly invincible, there is a small vulnerability. Shipping delays, poor product quality, sluggish reimbursements, and lengthy lineups at live performances were among the many issues brought to light by Swift fans' concerns, which were reported earlier this year by Axios. When demand is as high as it seems to be during Swift's performances, selling items at events held at stadiums and comparable locations may be a real difficulty. A few hours is all it takes for anything to happen. Customers in the thousands, if not tens of thousands, show up at a single location during that period. There is always a shortage of retail space. Due of the short and unpredictable work hours, staffing might be an issue. Concert and sports arenas have problems with the selling of food and drink as much as they do with the sale of clothes and souvenirs. The most frustrating thing for fans is having to wait a long time. In South Bend, Indiana, I went to see a minor league baseball game not long ago. The estimated number of attendees was close to the 5,000 maximum allowed at the location. It didn't matter how many food and drink concession stands there was always a long line at each one. It would take a whole inning to buy a hot dog and a beverage. The Swifties' problem. Picture this. You've paid a pretty penny on tickets and have been anticipating this night for months. Now you must decide whether to miss Swift's first performance or endure an apparently endless line for the highly sought-after Blue Crew neck shirt. It's a problem for fans all throughout the globe, from Tokyo to Lisbon.